Good morning, this is Federico Bentley from Ayondo Markets giving you this morning's market update. This morning we start by looking at the European markets, where the UK 100 rolling is flat this morning, the France 40 rolling is almost 13 points lower, and the Germany 30 rolling is around 27 points lower. Wall Street had a day to forget yesterday as markets continued to digest the fallout from Apple's disappointing first quarter revenues and the latest Federal Reserve meeting. The Dow Jones lost around 1.2% in the final hours of Thursday's trading to 17,830. The S&P 500 also dropped 0.9% to 2,075. Where the US left it, Asia dutifully picked up the baton. Markets in Japan were closed for a public holiday, some welcome respite after a turbulent week, but Hong Kong's Hang Seng was down more than 1%, and in China, surprisingly, was very steady. While all the attention has been on central banks and growth figures, oil has been climbing this week, up to $48 a barrel from $44 a barrel on Monday. Brent crude is down a touch in early trading, but still up 1/4 over the month. Now for some corporate news, profits soared in British Airways' owner International Airlines Group, also known as IAG, in the first 3 months of the year, but it wasn't enough to offset warnings of a slowdown over the next few months that sent shares down 4%. The FTSE 100 airline giant, which was formed by the merger of British Airways and Spanish fleet Iberia, warned that revenues could be hit over the rest of the year. However, as passengers stay away from the skies in the aftermath of Brussels terrorist attacks. Now looking at the figures and running over the numbers, operating profits were €168 million, equating to £131 million in the 3 months to March, up from €25 million in the first 3 months of last year. Passenger numbers jumped by 22% to more than 20 million in the period, helping to push total revenue 8% higher to €5.1 billion. Fuel costs came down by 14% over the period of €1.2 billion, meaning the airline spent more on employee than it did on jet fuel. Overall costs still climbed by 5% as landing fees jumped by 31% to €474 million, and engineering and maintenance charges also climbed by 21% to €404 million. Elsewhere, RBS announced a loss of £968 million in the first quarter, up from £460 million in the first 3 months of 2015. Underlying earnings at AstraZeneca fell by 12% over the year to $1.6 billion, around £1.1 billion in 3 months to March. And Amazon delivered a bumper jump in revenues in the first quarter, up by 28%. Now for some key data and focus, we have at 9:30 a.m. the UK Bank of England Consumer Credit for March and the UK Bank of England Mortgage Lending for March as well. At 10 a.m. we have the Eurozone GDP figures for the first quarter, and also the Eurozone inflation for April, and again at 10 a.m. the Eurozone unemployment rate for March. Over in the US at 1:30 p.m. this afternoon we have the US inflation for March, and again at 1:30 p.m. we have the US personal income and spending for March. That's all for today's news, so thank you very much for listening and all the best on your day's trading.